meeting to order.
Want to check it?
Wayne just handles
On
this.
this.
Okay.
4:31.
There's minutes in your packet for approval. Oh,
Order. That's the next thing is the agenda of the meeting, minutes from the previous meeting.
Okay. We can't approve them because I was not here, so I have to abstain. You need a 2/3 vote, and Wayne's not here, so we'll have to hold those over until the next meeting.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, item 3, new business. Nobody from public.
Floor is yours, Pete.
where's mine?
Introduce you.
All right.
So I'd like to introduce Pete Gloria, our new sewer superintendent and assistant DPW director.
Awesome. Glad to have you aboard.
Nice to be here.
Very good.
Public comments?
I don't think there's anybody here. No public comments at this time.
Sewer rates?
Yes. Not yet though. We do have a couple of abatements for you to consider. I think those are next.
Yeah. Just what, on West Tech Drive?
Yeah, we have one West Tech Drive that was overbilled by the water department for 2 fiscal years. So it ends up being a fairly substantial,
Bobcat
abatement.
dealership.
I'm not sure what the building is used for. We just know what we based our bills on from the,
No, you get a number from the water department.
that was incorrect. So
Yeah,
based on the correct numbers, they should have just been billed at base usage, at the base rate.
Okay,
So
so I prefer
pretty easy.
payment 3537. Any other further questions? Do I have a motion to approve the abatement as presented?
Second it?
I can't.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
We,
Excuse me. I think they need to be approved by year.
the abatement's approved by me.
By year.
Oh, do you want to do them separate?
2 votes per.
Okay, so do you want to do
oh, it's 2
approve,
years. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
approve make a motion to approve the abatement for FY25 first, and then take a vote, and then we'll do FY24 separate.
Okay.
Made a motion to approve the abatement for fiscal year 24 as presented.
Second it?
Favor, aye.
Aye.
I make a to approve the abatement for fiscal year 25 as presented.
Second it?
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Great.
That was it. Better than last time we had a stack.
Well, you do have one more.
Oh,
We usually get 30,
Oh.
especially around pool time.
Paula, do I have to sign anything or no for the abatements?
And the form, I'll do the form up tomorrow.
You'll do the form up tomorrow. Okay. And there is another abatement for 21 Curtis Street that was also overcharged. They were overcharged because we didn't have the correct
Deduct me.
deduct data.
Okay.
So, what was the amount of that?
It's on the second page.
So-
Then you go with.
The abatement amount is for $193.40.
Yes.
So we just need to approve those 2 abatements for those 2 invoices. Because we didn't have the correct deduct.
First and
Amount.
second, yeah,
Yeah.
first and second half of those bills. Yep. Okay.
motion to make a motion to approve the abatement as presented.
Yeah, second it?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Perfect.
Great. That's sewer rates. Yeah, so your sewer rates are on the agenda because you had them on previously.
Mhm.
I believe last year you guys did a 5% increase.
Mhm.
Based on what I could find or interpret through the minutes, it looked like you were considering maybe adding tiers to your rate structure maybe, or talking about the rate structure itself.
Yeah, we were talking about trying to see if what things work better for people financially. We've always been very, very concerned about the elderly and the rates they have to pay with the flat rate. And we were gonna go by usage gallons and tear it up price-wise. So we, that was something that we were thinking about, but not really. We've never had all three of us here together to be able to come to a conclusion on that, so that's why that's still on the schedule.
Okay. As part of the asset management plan that we're doing, that we're gonna talk about, one of the components of that will be a rate study.
Okay.
So that is something that can be considered as part of that rate study.
Yep.
To see if what a different type of tier could be established to limit the effect on the lower users.
Right.
You can't limit it to the elderly, but you can limit it to those who don't use as much.
Don't use as much, which is usually the elderly.
Yeah. But again, based on your base structure of $225 for 5,000 cubic feet, that's right about 5 cents a cubic foot. Where as you get up to your higher end users, they're up around 11 cents a square foot, right? Based on that 11.92 per 100 cubic feet. So if they're down there, they're paying half of what some of the bigger companies or bigger users are paying. So the tier, you don't have as many tiers as like a typical water department has
Right.
to really, so the people in the middle are the ones who are probably paying more than the minimal user and the higher end user, because they jump right to that 11.92 per 100 cubic feet instead of taking some gradual steps
Yeah.
as you get over that 5,000 cubic feet.
Okay.
But then we can kind of include that consideration as part of the rate study that we're going to do as part of the asset management plan.
Okay, that works.
That won't be complete for FY27. So I don't know, I guess, if the board wants to actually have a rate hearing and consider doing an increase, a nominal increase for FY27 from FY26, whether it's 2, 3, 5%. We know costs are going to increase no matter what. So just to kind of keep up with inflation and not fall too far behind and do a zero increase. If you want to consider that, I can put a couple of different options together.
Yeah, we usually do different options with flat rate and then cubic foot rate.
Okay.
We usually get a couple options.
Yeah.
And that's usually done over the summer before you vote on the rates.
Yes,
Yeah.
before we vote on the rates, yeah.
Right, but the rates need to be established before FY27, correct? So that's a June 30th deadline. So
Okay.
we kind of,
We did kind of have something in line. I missed Matt last meeting, so I remember the meeting before that, we did kind of have something in line, what we were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, we usually set the rates before, August, so that we can
Yeah.
make sure that,
We usually actually before July 1st, we try to have them approved.
for
Because we did it
prior to the
in May
fiscal
last
year
year.
starting.
Before the fiscal year starts.
Section
Okay.
It starts July 1st, so
Yes.
so,
I think we approved that rate increase in last year.
yeah, the cleanest way for FY27 rates is to have them set prior to FY27 beginning.
Which is why.
Even though you don't bill until the following
No,
year.
understood. We'll just set. We'll set it up.
So
Yeah,
I'll just, if that's, again, if you're interested, we'll keep it on the agenda and I can put a couple different options together.
we can
Yeah.
do that.
Look at what your retained earnings are over the last 3 years or so, see where you're at, see what you've been spending some money on as far as capital goes and stuff like that.
Okay,
Okay,
that works.
great. So that's the rates, not too bad, right?
Nope.
Not this time.
All right. The FY27 budget is in front of you. This one has been presented to the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen. So this is kind of what is set for the next fiscal year. That's the asset.
It's asset management, yeah.
Yeah.
Minutes, last minutes.
This one you look first, isn't it?
This one here, says for the schedule. This one here. Is there another one in here?
That might be it. Yeah, that's it. The first one.
Yep.
So it's pretty much level funded from the prior year. other than salary increases.
I'm not sure if. I think it's the one that's sitting on the table.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
And then,
Do you have a call? That's all.
yes. And the only other change that we're going to be making is we're going to be reducing that budget for the Upper Blackstone assessment.
Okay,
The board at Upper Blackstone, we voted to use more free cash and other accounts. So it's the budget was funded less through the rates, and
days.
so it was voted to have a lower bill for this year and,
Okay.
and use
That's good, because it usually goes up every year.
right. So this is actually going to be about like $75,000 less.
Wow, that's good.
How much was?
75,000.
Oh.
All right. The only thing that we've always done is we've always put more money, we try and put as much money as we can into our retained earnings
Okay.
account, because we have so many unforeseens.
Mhm.
As in breaks, and then it's the cost of taking care of that.
Mhm.
And it's the pumping, and it's the transfer from one station to another, and pump trucks, and, the bill gets up there
Not
really
cheap.
quick. Yeah, no, it gets up there real fast, so we always try and keep as much in our rainy day fund, so to speak, as we can to be able to take care of these things, because we have a couple of things on the agenda that we'll bring you up to speed on, that are a necessity. So we'll, as long as we can always keep ourselves funded, and keep the rates as low as we can, we're good to go.
Yeah, so I think this maximizes it, still carries $100,000 to go into your retained earnings,
Right.
which is consistent.
Right.
Which is consistent
This
with
is what we've been doing over the,
Mhm.
All right, that looks good to me. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah. No,
All right.
we need to weigh action on this, Joanne? I need to do
We did the abatements already.
Okay.
Pump stations, as I'm getting familiar with the town and going around looking at pump stations, there are a couple of things that we're gonna be looking to do repairs on, such as, an impeller for a pump at Sword Street. There's another pump that needs some bearings. There's a pump at Pinrock that needs some bearings, we think, or it might be something in the impeller, but it's hard to diagnose just from hearing it run.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a quote to order the impeller for the Sword Street pump, and I'm waiting on a quote to replace the pump at Pinrock.
Okay.
So that way there we can pull a pump and replace it, and then get that other pump rebuilt and have a spare,
All right.
and maybe cycle that out through the other three over the next couple of years, and still end up with a true spare pump in case something goes bad.
That's the station we don't
Yes.
want anything going bad at.
Yeah. Understood, and that's why, again, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure that pump is gonna be fairly expensive.
Yeah.
But if we can get that in there, the best I can tell, the one pump we're having issues with has 39,000 hours on it.
Yeah.
So you've been running it quite a bit.
Yeah.
The other ones are anywhere from 17,000 to 29,000.
Yeah.
So depending how it was run in the past, pump one definitely was the primary pump.
Right.
So again, once we get that quote, we'll probably just get that going as well. And just again, most of the other pump stations are in good shape, and you guys have been investing and doing improvements to them over time. So
It'll come up in the agenda here. I seen it here. Hilltop. That station, last I knew, had pump problems that were going to be addressed.
I'd have to look into it.
Yeah, I forgot what Nick said at that time. That's the one where
I know
pump
that-
station's on the other person's front
Right.
yard.
Well, they never carved out an easement. for
Yeah,
it.
we never had.
Right.
Typical practice.
We have issues with access to it, and
Right, right. That's a whole nother thing.
yeah.
Well, Nick was exploring some options, gravity.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still a possibility. It's just a matter of talking to the homeowner. I know that there was some changes in ownership over there.
Yeah,
the
it wasn't
family.
family trust or something.
Yeah.
It's correct.
yeah,
So
yeah. There was one.
I
There
still-
was one family that was the sticking point, and they were last I remember. Nick said that they were looking to connect that house into storage, and
Yeah,
they were going to subdivide that
Yeah,
lot.
they wanted two connections.
Yeah, they wanted two connections.
Which would be not an issue.
Which Nick said if we already had the easement run right down through the back, you could
Right.
hook up whatever you want.
right, easy.
I'm all for that project to go gravity.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And just be done with that front yard hassle.
Yeah, gravity doesn't fail.
Yeah, it would.
And that was one of the things that we had, Pete, that was on our radar.
okay,
All right, that's one of the big things. The other two big things is the lining of
So it's
from the Source Street Station.
Mhm.
Auto drive.
Yeah,
okay.
and so we got a couple of big ticket items that are coming up.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things when you talk about the rate structure, that the rate study that they're going to do is going to be looking at that debt that you're going to start to assume for those bigger projects, and figuring out what the rates need to be able to pay for that.
Yeah, well, we've discussed this previously.
Yeah.
Nick, understand that, we do have some major issues in front of us. We gotta address them.
Yeah.
Okay,
System's over 50 years old. I remember when it went in.
So your sewer system evaluation study, next up on the agenda, you've done 2 years of that. Come up with quite a bit of work to do from there. I believe you've probably seen the report from year one. Year two is in draft form. So once that's finalized, we can get you a copy of that.
Okay.
Coming out of year one, though, I believe that's where your Sword Street and guarded drive lining and stuff like that has come from.
Yep.
And you did some, again, we can go over also what you did last summer for some lining and repairs that came out of that year one study as well. So
Yep.
it's nice to see you do the study and then also follow through with it and start to do the work as well, and not just do the study and put it on the shelf.
Yeah. We had a bunch of stuff that we were looking at with I&I projects of all the infiltration we've been having. We sent some tainted camera and guys are all up to speed on it, and we were going to start doing some camera on some lines during the wet season, which is the wet season. So we should think about if some of those places. I'm sure Nick had all that stuff written down.
Yeah.
And whereabouts he was thinking the trouble spots were, and I can tell you a bunch of them off the top of my head, but we have to go in order as to far as what we thought was going to be our culprits, and get some of that going so we can help with that I because we had that big study done where all those kids went around and popped all the manholes and did all the checking and everything else. So.
Okay. Update on the Upper Blackstone.
So, not really much progress on the permit. It's still, it's tied into the Lister's integrated plan. they're hopeful that they're getting close to getting that permit approved, but at this point, it's kind of in discussions with the Department of Justice and
Okay.
EPA.
Yeah, I remember the last time they said they were still waiting for the city of Worcester to come up with some numbers.
I think because it's all tied in with the city of Worcester, it's on Blackstone Worcester, DOJ,
Yeah.
EPA, but
Was that paid more than $38 million on sewer charges?
Really?
They said Holden claimed that they were paying too much.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's approved out. So. And from the council, they got a loan request to get the money to pay it.
Ouch.
Right.
Paul has the bill schedules for there if you guys want to review them.
Yeah.
Updated sewer connection list. We don't really have much of an update. There haven't been. I've been here for 4 weeks. There haven't been any new connections applied for or issued. I'm not sure there was many issued since Nick has left. So we're working through that folder, trying to get everything together.
winter. No,
You know, how many people take it when it's 10 degrees out?
I have things buried in 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal.
I'm still tired.
So capital planning projects. The Warren Road pump station replacement seems to be complete.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the last payments were issued. We have the updated O&M manuals in the office, so
Okay.
I think that's done. The Sword Street and Goddard Drive force main rehab, we have pretty much completed, the engineers completed the design for phase 1 of the Sword Street force main rehab from the pump station up to just past the parking lot for the new bank.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be phase 1. That'll be bypassed, and that part of the sewer main will be lined and then put back into service, and then we'll go ahead and go out and bid out phase 2 of that. So we're in the process. The Apex Engineering is in the process of putting together the bid documents, and waiting for comments from Mass DOT to do the work on Route 12.
Mm-hmm.
And we should have that out to bid hopefully mid to end of April.
Weren't they gonna do some soil samples around the tracks there? For that line to come underneath? Because the soil line from Sword Street comes under the railroad.
Correct.
Out to Southbridge Street.
Their plan is to decommission the gravity main that's going under there now. That's in a like a 24-inch sleeve,
Yeah.
and running an 8-inch pressure main through that to a pit in your easement at the parking lot for wind supply, I believe.
Okay.
So that we'll be able to do the bypass pipe
Yeah.
into that gravity main under the brook, under the railroad tracks, and come up in Wind Supply's parking lot, set up a pump there and pump along Route 12 and over and across Route 12 through the bank parking lot, through that easement.
Okay.
That seems to be the least intrusive and most efficient way to get under the railroad tracks or get onto the other side of the railroad tracks, unfortunately.
Railroad thought he didn't deal with
I'm just gonna get my.
So I believe you guys you went to the town meeting, got approval to borrow up to 4.7 million.
Okay.
I think the cost estimate for this, from what I've seen, is just over 3.2, just for phase 1 of Sword Street.
Okay.
It's kind of what we're looking at. The bypass is almost as expensive as the lining because of everything, unfortunately, because of everything that needs to be done, and then all the other ancillary things that we're going to be doing. So
Mm-hmm.
it definitely added up quick.
it. That's amazing.
One of the other things I had brought to the attention of, and Nick kind of cringes, everybody kind of cringes, is when you come out of Holsham Court, that pumps to Sword Street. What in years past there was a diverter valve that used to take that and put it up Hampton Street and over Goddard Drive that way instead of going down to Sword Street and Sword Street pumping it all the way around and up the other side. That valve we used to exercise, I used to work here,
Mhm.
just to let you know.
Okay.
And we used to exercise that valve all the time, and it was brutal because it was just so much pressure there, you know? So we would exercise that valve and get it up and running. Well, over the years, the exercising stopped, and that was the end of it. So now it's in the closed position. So now, if we have a break problem at Sword Street, Holstrom Court is still running there. Okay, because we can't divert the water from Holstrom Court, the surge from Holstrom Court up over the hill to relieve the pressure off of Sword Street.
I've been told that that's how it's going. Holstrom Court goes direct to Pinrock. It does not go through Sword Street. Is what I've been told. And
Okay,
how all of the diagrams that I've seen show it.
okay,
It's not going through Sword Street anymore. I'll double
all
check.
right, all right.
But my impression is that everything funnels into Holstrom and Sword, and
Yeah.
then those independently feed Pinrock.
Okay.
But I'll definitely verify that to
Yeah,
make sure
'cause
that
there's a
that's
valve
not
there
the case.
That you can divert to take the pressure.
I mean, that's good to know, just in case the Holstrom Court line going up and over Packagug Hill fails.
Yeah.
You can divert it to Sword Street
Right,
and still be able to use it.
right.
And I think that we had installed VFDs at Holstrom Court in part to allow for that diversion valve to work. I just don't know because part of the plan was to get that operational.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was done just yet. Not the VFD, but the
Yeah,
actual.
you'd have to look back in the minutes, but I don't think it's been done yet. We've been everybody kind of cringes when they talk about it because
No, I think
Old
so.
valves that they trace.
it is. It's going to be a heck of a job. It's going to be a heck of a job.
OSU.
But if it's working, then obviously it's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, well, it
benefit.
hasn't worked in years, so
So the diversion valve is located where?
At Hampton Street.
Hampton Street.
So yeah, so the force main project should be done this summer. I think there's estimated a 10-week complete project time.
So phase one.
For just phase one.
Yeah.
Phase two will be a completely separate bid, so it probably won't happen until the next construction season.
Okay.
Hopefully, phase one goes well, get that done, get phase two and hopefully Goddard Street bid at the same time. And then maybe those two can take place, especially with Goddard being in an easement and off the roadway. It should
Okay.
be a little bit, hopefully, easier.
We have to hold our breath on the Goddard one because we have a problem up there on that line. Some of that line had collapsed, and we were everything was still flowing,
Mhm.
but they cameraed it and they were trying to see if they could get in there to fix it, and it happens to be right underneath the brook that's there or something, so it's not easy accessible. And the guys were keeping an eye on it as far as last time we spoke with Nick about it anyways.
Goddard is gravity, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We had a problem up there and had part of that lined once already.
Okay. In front of you, you have the scope of work for the asset management plan.
Okay.
Apex Engineering. So this is a grant that the town received. Total cost for the project is going to be approximately $250,000. $150,000 of that will be reimbursed from the state. About $49,000 of it needs to be in-kind services from personnel in town. And there's another approximately $50,000 that needs to be value added from the town, money spent from the town on the project.
Okay.
So, and hopefully we're gonna be able to use a lot of what we get from this to kind of be your year 3 SSES information as well.
Alright.
So, the big part of it and what we're gonna try and do internally is 500 manhole inspections. looking at those, and then also jetting and CCTVing 65,000 linear feet of sewer main. So that should keep the guys fairly busy throughout the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they actually have a schematic of the pump stations in here that shows Holstrom pumping directly to PennDOT.
Okay.
But we can definitely check on that diverter valve and see where that stands. So again, it'd be nice to get $150,000 worth of grant work done.
Yep.
You know, trying to look at the system from a different lens as far as asset management goes. Looking at each pump stations individually, what we need to improve for, you know, safety for the guys, wet well lighting and stuff like that, as far as and everything else and how they're running, and go from there. Looking at if we can do any, I know SCADA, you just did a decent sized SCADA upgrade. However, I think we're not using it to everything to its full potential. I think there's a lot more things we can monitor with SCADA to have that information and have that data tracked. Such as if you lose power, you get a call that power failed, but you don't know without going there if that generator is running and if power actually kicked back on. And I think with SCADA, we can go ahead and get power failed and then get another message or be able to monitor if that generator fired up and if there's still power. So I think there's some small things that we can do there to really get the most out of that SCADA system that you have, that you've improved, and just get the operators more information.
There you go.
So, you know, more the better.
Even just tracking the amperage of the motors, right? It's the information's there, but it's not tracked on SCADA, so that way there you'll know if there's something going on, if that motor's overworking,
Yeah, you see
and
it
it's
over the
drawing 80 amps instead of 48. Right, when it's running at 60 hertz, what's that issue and why? You know, just to raise a red flag to look at it differently and say, you know, amperage is high, let's figure that out, take a look at it, maybe it's ragged up, maybe there's something going on,
Motor's
What's happening?
tired.
so we're gonna be looking at small things like that to kind of integrate into SCADA, which shouldn't be a huge lift because, you know, the backbone is there.
We have 12 pump stations.
Yes. I believe that includes Hilltop.
I was in Westro, they had 28 or something. Oh yeah, they have them everywhere. Well, the topography was such. You know, you had all these hills and stuff, and, you know, they just, and it was common just developments, they just, we put a pump station in and it just turned over to the town.
That was
That's
nice.
nice.
Nice of the town.
Well, back then it was, then they kinda got smart. They got, there was a pump station on Route 9 that the developer was supposed to fix up, like I went bankrupt. And DP came in, sued the town, because they became the default owner of the pump station. So the town had to spend, I don't know, like $250,000 fixing the thing. So,
Alright.
So your FY25 sewer rehab project, that took place last year. There should be a memo in your packet tucked away somewhere that lists the roads that were done. You did approximately $120,000 worth of sewer lining last year, and the streets and the manholes are listed there. And again, these areas were identified under that SSES Year 1 report. For that project, there is one area on Leslie Street near the manhole that needs to get dug and the point repair needs to be made. National Water Main tried to line through it, but the line didn't work as they thought it would, so they're going to come back there's still funding left in that project for them to come back and make that repair.
Okay.
On Meadowbrook, there was one area that was lined. You pop a manhole cover, there's still quite a bit of water infiltrating. However, it's infiltrating the outside of the manhole where the previous, where the main pipe comes through.
Mhm.
The water's infiltrating through there,
Through,
not through the liner, not through the pipe.
it's coming
So we
through
need
the
to,
connection.
so we need to, the engineer said they can talk with the contractor and they can drill some holes and they can put some type of epoxy or slurry, pump it through into the backside of the manhole,
Yep.
and it'll kind of seal itself up out there, and probably just force that water to go somewhere else, because it's gonna find a way somewhere.
As long as it goes on the outside of the pipe and not the inside.
So what we did is when we saw that water coming in the outside of it, it looked like there was quite a bit of flow coming through the pipe as well. And this was probably the 4th or 5th manhole down gradient from the start of the line on Meadowbrook. So we actually went and popped some manholes, followed it up to talk about your wet weather exploration. We did last week. We looked at it, started at the first manhole, and there was one pipe coming in from a resident. There was no flow. So they went out, they jetted those 4 lengths, they cambered it, and they didn't find any infiltration. So it must be some inflow coming in from some of the users somewhere, whether you're looking at sump pumps or something like that, or gutters. Because every area of town has those spots where it's just that groundwater's high for every resident, and I don't think it was necessarily infiltration from gutters or a storm drain. It was more so probably from sump pumps somewhere.
We were supposed to, I thought they said that they were supposed to put a study together to go around knocking on doors, inspecting houses to see if they had sun pumps hooked into the sanitary sewer.
I'm not sure if that was.
It was something that was being thought about.
Yeah.
It was never been implemented, but there was, and I thought there was a legal thing there.
Mm.
You know, I mean, how do you enter somebody's home?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
legally to see if they're pumping water into the town sanitary sewer. I think that's something that town council had to come up with a
Yeah.
with
That would be, that'd be difficult.
an entry
Unless it
program.
comes under the plumbing inspector.
I'm sorry.
Unless it comes under the plumbing code. It's interior. Some connection in there,
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you gain access into a house?
Right.
Well,
I mean, if-
how allow you to come in and so. I mean,
The water,
it happens.
the water district had that problem because they always used to come in. They drop a card, you bring your water meter and send it in. Well, if you didn't, they'd have to come in, and that's when problems started. So I don't know how we could actually go in and find out. You know what I mean? But I bet you there's a lot of people in the low lying water districts. The water problems, they're all pumping into the town sanitary sewer.
Yeah, sump pumps are probably the most difficult thing to try and address.
Yeah.
Sure.
Be happy to know mine pumped into the business park.
Yeah.
When I bought the house, it was pumped over there, so. Anyway,
Yeah.
what do we,
Yeah, so your FY25 rehab projects seem to be fairly successful. There's a couple things to button up once we hit the construction season this spring
Okay.
and get that done. And like I said, between the asset management plan with the guys, CCTV, almost 9 miles of pipe, and
Right.
and visually, pulling those manhole covers and doing inspections on 500 manholes, it'll probably keep them busy for a better part of the summer. So
Mhm.
yeah,
while doing everything, while doing their typical day-to-day
Doing what else?
operations.
Day-to-day operations, yeah.
okay.
So,
I think we had talked about how cumbersome that was going to be on manpower, and not enough work to continuously say you need another man on the department, but maybe doing stuff like that. We used to have kids come in for summer
I was
help,
gonna say an intern. There
but
you
during
go.
the summertime, you know what I mean?
There's a
You might be able
Well, that's a lot of
Kids.
towns do that. They have interns and they get them to these.
to, right,
We had one in Westboro, they GPS, they did all the drainage. Sent him out with a total station to find all these head walls and stuff. That's all he did all summer. He loved it.
Yeah. Might be something to look into if it becomes cumbersome for the
Yeah,
board.
it'd be interesting.
Do you have interns?
So we're gonna be trying them out this
Okay.
summer. We put an engineering intern for FY27 budget, and we also put in a co-op student for fleet. So we'll see how it goes.
Helpful.
Next item is future projects. That's more of a question mark from me to kind of see what you guys have in your mind for possible future projects.
Actually, coincidentally, I got an email today, so it's not on the list, but I'm not sure if we've talked about this. It's been a long time coming, but back in maybe 2020, 2019, we applied for a grant, a FEMA grant, for a generator replacement up at Penrock. That grant was not awarded to us. But then we heard back
They just told you?
they told us then.
Okay.
But then they came back about a year later, maybe 2 years later, saying, well, there was some additional money. This project is going to be under consideration. So we've been, every once in a while, we'll be in touch with FEMA. And I just found out today that we were awarded the grant. So we will be looking at working on a generator replacement at Penrock.
Good. Nice. How long you going to get the money though? Is it 2 years or so?
I'm sorry.
How long do you get the grant money itself?
Yeah.
2 or 3 years?
Took 6 years to approve it.
I mean, the grant application was cumbersome, to say the
Oh,
least.
It was done in 2019.
I think it might have been. It was right when I took over sewer
Oh,
superintendent.
after Jeffrey, yeah, because
Right
Jeff
after.
left in 20, I think. January of
Was it
of 20.
January? So
was-
it might
yeah,
have been January.
Right after his birthday, and his birthday's in January.
Okay.
So.
So it was 2020.
Yeah, it was 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, COVID kind of marks a good time, you know.
Right.
Kind of marks your you know where you stand in time, but yeah, it was. I think it was right around that time. It must have been, you know, maybe when we came back from COVID, like in June or something like that. So, it's been a long time coming. I think Nick might have worked on just updating the pricing, just because if they were to award a project estimated in 2020, in 2026, there'd be issues, but, so, some happy news.
All right.
Do you guys have any other project thoughts?
Well, the one thing that's always been
Near and dear to your heart.
near and dear to our heart. Well, the first thing that was near and dear to our heart was the bypass at Pinrock, and we finally got that complete.
Yeah.
Because we were forever saying, "Oh my God, if something happens, we're in deep doo-doo." The biggest one I think lately is Hilltop. That's been a
That's
thorn.
true.
Been a thorn in our backside because one, we have no legal access to that pump station. Two, that guy, if anything ever happened in there, you know what I mean, it would be overflowed and flooded out, and then we get more problems. We have no access to replace a pump or look at a pump or whatever. We had spoke about gravity way back when, falling all down the back of those properties and then coming out down by the bottom of Prospect Street. There was one family up there that was not looking forward to that conversation, and since then that person who was elderly has since passed. Her kids have taken over the property and we're thinking about, as I said earlier, about subdividing that lot and putting another house in there and what's the situation for storage. So, that kind of went cold for a while with Nick had said, and I really haven't heard much about it, but that's the next one that's gonna stick it to us. And I mean, we trying to play nice. I mean, push comes to shove, I guess we could go in by eminent domain and just do it.
I think we could have an argument, yes, to do that.
Yeah.
Public safety issue.
Right. So, but we've been trying to play nice, so Nick was waiting to hear back, had left a message, sent an email to that person, was waiting to hear back, and
I don't think
he's ever heard back, so.
Okay.
That's something we can look to maybe reach out to that person, and see what their intentions are. Because we really need, that's the first thing that we really need to address over there.
Well, if gravity would be the preferred, but I talked to Nick about a pump station. Just, and he actually thought it might be cheaper. We'll obviously have that ongoing maintenance of the pump station, but total cost up front might be a cheaper option. We just, pump it right up the hill, up to Prospect Street and pop a manhole in. So,
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely take a look at the options. I think citing it would probably be, obviously, the number one issue, just because we don't have any rights to the land that it's currently on.
no, we don't.
So, either way, looking at the upfront costs and then the long-term costs, but
Yeah.
definitely look at it. The
Like I said,
value.
if the owners are amenable to us doing something, I mean, there is the option of them doing eminent domain.
Mhm.
And that would be costly, it could be costly, if they decide to fight it, so. So there are options, it's just a matter of which one works
Yeah.
more appealing.
I think the problem when we had thought about that, I remember your conversation now about that pump station was, where do we put the new pump station?
Well, that was the thing. The ideal scenario, you could extend the sewer there, the gravity sewer, past the house towards Prospect, and then this would cause an issue. You probably approach the owners and see if you can get an easement for the pump station at the corner there, next to the house that's there, and then the carrot would be will allow you to tie in. If you want to sewer the existing house, if you want to do the lot. But I don't know if it would be even with the sewer line on Prospect Street, if that would be a better option, just to go up the front.
So Hilltop is one of your 12 pump stations right now
Right.
that we currently maintain,
Yeah,
but it's on private property.
it's a quagmire.
There was I think an easement to benefit the homeowners association that is not in existence.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the major sticking point up there was we inherited that pumping station from the Hilltop Homeowners Association, which is no longer existent. So we have no recourse as to what do you mean you put a pump station and you don't have any access to it?
Okay.
You know what I mean? For some reason that slipped through the cracks
Town
somewhere.
council, I think the minutes reflected that it was based on town council getting the easement or something, and he signed off on it. So the sewer commission signed off based on that, but the required action wasn't taken. Basically, to secure an easement from the homeowner of the station. So either way, this is what the pilot would help with. So,
Okay. I'll try and pull up Nick's notes and kind of
yeah,
figure out where he left
Mark's
off. and go
correct.
from there.
Yeah.
This thing is gonna cause an issue. So
Great. talk with Joanna about it, figure out what we can do.
Yeah. That would be first off. And then
Okay.
that's,
Plenty in front of you to begin with, though. The sewer, well, Saginaw Street system, getting that out the bid.
Yep.
I mean, Sewer Street, excuse me.
All right.
Yeah.
I think
so Street and Goddard Drive was the next one. And then we, then I think it was about easements. There's an easement that runs down behind, at the bottom of Upland Street, where Meadowbrook comes down, Leslie Ave comes down, all that stuff comes down to the bottom of the hill. And from there it turns and it goes down behind, I don't even know the name of the housing, it used to be Upland Gardens, I don't know what it's called now.
Oh, what's the,
But that comes all the way down the back side of there. And there was some, we had a couple of problems right there, just off of Upland Street, that we had to have line repairs done. And we were thinking about looking at lining. We'd have to camera that and line it. That was like on the back burner of the back burner, because we had Sword Street and got to drive up the bat next. But that's another issue at some of these easements and access to some of these easements. So
In addition
I
to,
mean, a lot of this stuff hasn't been really manicured. A lot of these easements should be going in and cleared, and God forbid if we ever have a problem in one of them, and
Yep.
over the years, everything's settled, so now you got wet spots. We should really have access into there, so we, it's on the list, so to say, so to speak.
it's tricky, right? You have such a finite time to get stuff done in our construction season. I know
Right.
the guys went out today, if it was a Goddard Street easement or not, but they tried to get access to it. It was mud right away.
Yeah,
So they kind of pulled back a little bit. So
yeah.
they definitely have the oomph to do it. It's just making sure we can.
Well, that was their thing too. I think it was the end of, what's the name of that road up there?
Curtis?
No? Green. I'll look up today. But we have access down the end of the road to go through the field to get to the easement. And, Nick was talking about, that's the location we have to go in and check that break where that fracture is in the,
cutting out?
yeah, I think it was cutting. At the end of it.
I'm sorry, the street?
Cutting
Cutting out, yeah,
off of Packagug?
up at Packagug.
Is that, the-
He was thinking about putting a road in, getting a bid to put a road in to get down to the easement. And then he said, you know what, we'll put that in with the cost of access for lining the easement. But then again, that's probably one of the areas where you come in off the road, you're in mud.
Mhm.
That might be something to look at.
You
I don't-
definitely have quite a few miles worth of easements
We have a lot of miles of easements.
with probably many buried manholes.
Oh, yeah.
Covers that. Yeah, will be a.
Yep.
And then that might be something that comes out of the asset management plan as well,
Right.
and just kind of making that figuring out that priority list and see where everything shakes out, and then just start pecking away at it
Yep.
well, that's it.
and then do what we can
Keep
do.
things in view,
Yeah.
try to get some of them completed when we can.
Yep.
Okay. We on the whole building, whole business, excuse me.
Yes, we
So
talked
building
about.
rate structure.
You kind of talked about that already.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that. I'm doing that in tiers. We all just talked about the hilltop.
In the FY27 town meeting, I don't believe there's any sewer warrant articles per se.
I don't think that we put anything in for
This
sewer,
time.
so.
Should be good.
Alright,
Other than that, there
Best
is.
part.
Well, April 6th, there's a volunteer recognition reception for you gentlemen.
I'll be on vacation.
April 6th.
I'll be thinking of it.
If you're around and you'd like to go.
Yeah, it's at the high school.
High school, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that. I actually already replied to it. Would be helpful.
Yeah.
That's nice though.
And then if we can just, before we adjourn, just try and set the date for the next meeting.
Yep.
What are we looking at? End of April?
I think that'll work. Over there.
Well, I'm gone till April 1st to the 13th. I'm literally out of the country. So
No, I mean, I think we do have some other information for some abatements we need to follow up on and get those done next month, so. If Thursdays is your typical meeting day?
Thursdays has been forever our typical meeting day.
Okay. So,
I wouldn't be opposed or anything else, but it's,
we have done other days, but
okay.
yeah,
we
if
typically
we had to.
So the 23rd or the 30th? Do you have a
I'm
preference?
off on the 23rd.
You're off on the 23rd?
We might both be off, but that's so 30th.
The 30th? Okay.
Alright, go
Actually, do we need to meet in April for the abatements? Is there? Yeah. I'm just thinking if you're going to be on vacation, try and put a meeting.
I'm only
Pack it
open
together.
Thursday, Friday, but well, I'm thinking April because if we're gonna start discussing the rate studies, right?
I was just thinking.
Or do we
we-
want to go right into May? I mean, being the 30th, I mean, it's up to you guys.
I just don't want to put too much on you if you're going to be, off the, a couple of days trying to put the meeting packets together.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Um,
Whatever you guys.
I can do that if not.
Okay.
I mean, I was
Whatever you
kind
guys
of used to
decide.
doing
I'm just off on that day, so I'm like.
So,
that
The
Thursday.
23rd?
No, the
yeah,
30th.
I'm off the
30th.
20th.
30th.
yeah, April 30th.
April 30th.
If that works.
doing approved.
And then, yeah, we'll double check with Wayne.
Yep.
And we'll plan on that. If something changes, we will be in touch.
Yeah, I'll send Wayne an email.
Thank you, Paula.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion on the matter at fourth hand? Okay.
What time do you have?
5:28.